Hack number 1. Intros are terrible. Stop doing them. When you start a video, start right into the content. It does not matter this elaborate ruse that you've got to trick the people into watching your video. The only acceptable thing for people who are watching your video is the actual content of the video. If you notice, that's what I did with this one. I know it's a very hard thing to accept because in every other part of our life, you have to introduce yourself. That's just how communication works. YouTube has done this artificially for you with the thumbnail, the title, and also the other metadata. They've already introduced you to the audience. So your goal is to just get right into the content. Number 2, editing is going to be the single biggest time suck for you throughout the entire process of being a YouTuber. When you start your YouTube journey, you think that you're going to actually be, YouTubing, in front of the camera, actually talking to the thing and, doing the thing that you actually signed up to do. Oh no, contraire, monsieur. You are in fact going to be behind a computer going blind, editing for hours at a time. This is going to be the single biggest choke point for you throughout your entire process. One of the important ideas that you can have for this is the concept of minimum viable product, where there's just a minimum level of editing that it takes to make a video watchable. Everything else after that may just be superfluous in your situation. It's also important on the front end to make it as easy as possible to edit, where it's just like one cohesive video. That's a style that I'm trying out with this video, in fact, so you'll have to let me know how it goes. Hack number 3, don't worry about niche. Consistently, one of the things that I see that is the worst advice given to small channels is to niche them. Brother, when you are a small channel, you really don't know what you want to do. So trying to limit yourself to I'm only going to make slug videos is just bad advice because, bro, you don't even know if you like slugs yet. You haven't even been on the first date and you're over here planning out the wedding day. It's just bad advice. The golden advice that I would give for you is make videos and then course correct. If something works, do it again. If it doesn't work, don't do it. I swear it's just that easy, but we make it so hard for ourselves that it's just unnecessarily complicated for no benefit. So stop doing that. Number 4, you have to work on it every day. I know that that's something that you may be chafing from. You may be like, I don't have time to work on it. That's why I'm watching this friggin' video so I can learn what to do. The thing is, if you were expecting a certain level of results out, you're trying to make this, either your full-time job or you just want to see some more results from your hobby, you have to be in a position where you are working on this in some context every day. If you're not, it's going to fall flat because you're just not going to have the time to put in those reps. Now, with that being said, that does mean that you need to accommodate your work around your schedule. Because let's say, as an example, you in fact don't have the time to edit videos up to the super content retention levels that you may think that you need for your type of content. You may need to adjust the type of content that you're making accordingly, because this is the hand that you have been dealt. You need to figure out what is the best way to play that hand, but you got to do something on it on the daily. Number 5, the idea of the video is the most important part of the video. There are so many times that you can have a bad video in terms of production and a good idea and it goes mega viral because the content of the video is such that the value is provided from that, not from the editing. And so what I gotta say is you unfortunately have to meet people halfway. And I know that this is terrible. You have to make things that people want to watch. So one of the big problems that I had consistently throughout my channel in the early days, and I mean, honestly, still to this day, is I make material that people are not necessarily interested in. That's an issue if you want people to watch your content. You have to give some kind of value to your consumer. Once you do, the consumer will reward you with their time. I swear, it's just that simple. It's not easy, but it does make sense. Number 6, it is a marathon, not a sprint. Oftentimes, and this goes hands in hand with that earlier niche talk, if we don't actually like what we're doing, it's not actually worth doing. Because if you're not a-okay doing this, and whenever I say doing this, I mean like actually planning, writing, and filming the videos, you don't actually like being a YouTuber, because that's what it actually is. If you think that there's some arbitrary number at the end where you're like, if I reach X number and then I'll be happy, it will not. You are worshiping a false god. It will truly turn the wine into sand in your mouth. And it is also important to know that like it's also going to take some time. YouTube is an exponential game. So you're going to be posting a long time, especially up front, where you're going to be getting no views whatsoever. The reason why is because number one, you've not posted enough for YouTube to know who you are. And also audiences are just going to be wary of you because they don't know who you are. You just kind of look sketchy. That's just the necessary evil of being a small channel. Because the one thing that you do not want to do, which I've seen so many times, is people completely exhaust every single idea that they could have for videos within like the first year or two of making a channel. And some of these channels even get big and you see these creators just struggling because they have no idea what to do with their channel after a certain point, because you know they've just made pretty much every video that they could make. You don't want to be in that position. And number 7, you can't learn it from one video. It has taken 70 videos for me to learn these tips. And how many more tips are there to learn? Thousands. You cannot learn all of this from one video. I wish you could. I wish that there was like one thing that I could tell you and it's like, this would just, you know, this would cure your jaundice. This would just solve every issue that you would ever have. But it just doesn't exist. I wish it was, because every part of YouTube is so complex. The lighting, this microphone that you hopefully can't see, you know, the script, the lack of scripting, the presentation, all of these things are separate parts, and there's thousands of little things that you learn and get hopefully better at as you go along. So it's not just one thing that's going to completely solve your problems. That's the bad part. The good part is you get thousands of tries hopefully to get it right. It's just really important to have a holistic and realistic view of the entire process. Oh, also, secret 8th tip. Watch this video.